What's up, Eagles fans? Welcome into the All-22 review driven by AAA. I'm Fran Duffy, and we've got a lot of good plays to break down from the Eagles' huge Week 1 win over the visiting Washington Redskins. It's going to start with this play right behind me, Desean Jackson's opening touchdown. But really quick, let's just get into what we saw from this game. Obviously, a little bit of a slow start. The Eagles jump out to the gate, down 20-7 going into the locker room, but they marched back. An outstanding victory where they were able to run the football, control the clock, play really good defense in the second half, keep Washington from getting anything going. And it came along with some big plays in the passing game. So let's not waste any more time. Let's take a look here at the very first touchdown, a play we've all been waiting for. And this was a result of two different things. Number one, a great play call from Doug Peterson. And number two, a great read from quarterback Carson Wentz. So we're going to just take a look at what Carson is seeing pre-snap, because this is what is called a too-high shell. What is a too-high shell? You've got two safeties in the deep middle of the field. Those guys are splitting the field into halves. That's what he's showing. So it's going to be one of two coverages, cover 2 or cover 4. So ultimately what that means is that the middle of the field is going to be open. And that's really what Carson Wentz is trying to decipher here pre-snap. Is the middle of the field going to be open or closed? What they're running here from a play pass standpoint is going to be dagger. And dagger is a deep vertical route from Desean Jackson from the slot receiver, and then a deep dig route from the outside receiver. In that case, that is going to be Alshon Jeffrey. Now, if this is actually going to be a too-high coverage, which is what they're showing pre-snap, that dig route from Alshon Jeffrey should be wide open, right in the middle of the field. That would be the hope pre-snap for Carson Wentz. But what's going to happen here right before the snap is you're going to see the linebacker, Desean Hamilton, a second-year guy from Alabama. He's going to actually drop into the deep third. This is going to be a form of cover 3. So we've got a lot of disguise here from the Washington defense. They're trying to get a little bit cute, trying to disguise some things. So these safeties are actually going to step up in zone coverage. You've got the linebacker dropping deep. So we're going to let this play develop a little bit, and I want you to see what Carson realizes and how he pulls the trigger here. Again, you're going to see the linebacker drop. He's again going to get to that deep third. The corners are both going to drop, and you're going to get Desean Jackson running down the middle of the field. And this is going to be a really great read from Carson Wentz here. As we let these routes develop a little bit, you're going to see exactly how he sees this, because he sees both of those safeties step up. Once Carson sees that, look at this, the ball is already about to be out. He knows he's got the deep middle of the field. This is going to be Desean Jackson matched up with a corner who's playing inside to his help. That's why the corner is letting him go inside, because he thinks he's got safety help from this linebacker, Desean Hamilton, who started the play right about here. He's got to travel a long distance. Carson Wentz pulls the trigger and delivers this throw over the top to Desean Jackson in stride, right up the chute, exactly where it needs to be. Desean comes away with the touchdown. Just an outstanding throw and catch. Great play call. Great read from Carson Wentz, because again, pre-snap, that ball should have gone to Alshon Jeffrey, but he did a great job of reading the defense, understanding where the ball needs to go in that situation, getting the Eagles on the board, making it 17-7. So the Eagles go into halftime down 20-7, and they come out of the locker room in the start of the third quarter, and they get after Washington in the run game. Got a lot of yards on the ground, imposed their will at the point of attack, and a couple of really impressive zone run plays. We're going to take a look at one here from Darren Sproles. The Eagles have already crossed midfield, and this is going to be an inside zone run to the right, and Darren's going to hit this right off the backside double team. So we're going to let this play out a sec, and I want you to watch one big key block. This is the backside double team, all right? So you see all across the formation, you got the tight ends working here. Those two Eagles, Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, are responsible for those two. Jason Peters and Isaac Seumalo are responsible for this nose tackle and the backside linebacker. You've got Jason Kelsey and Brandon Brooks responsible for these two, and then Lane Johnson one-on-one with Ryan Kerrigan. That's how the blocking assignments are going to work. The most important one, though, is this one right here. Jason Peters and Isaac Seumalo getting a nice double team on the nose tackle, Daron Payne. And I got news for you. Number 94, the best player on a good Washington defensive front. So Darren Sproles is going to take this carry from Carson Wentz, and he's going to play right off that. Look at the C's part here for Darren Sproles. He hits it right up the middle for a huge gain. Get the Eagles right into the fringe area, high red zone for Darren Sproles. So just a couple plays later, they go back, and again, run game. Darren Sproles checks out. Miles Sanders, the rookie, checks in. Once again, inside zone. You've got double tight ends here on the backside. This is going to go right up the gut by Miles Sanders, just off a different block. And we're going to let this play for a sec. You're going to take a look at exactly how the Eagles block this front up. This time, he's going to play off of Jason Peters on the backside. So Peters and Goddard are responsible for that backside defensive tackle. Isaac Seumalo gets really good movement there along with Jason Kelsey, and you're going to see the C's open up here for Miles on the inside, and he gets the Eagles inside the 5-yard line, results in a touchdown from Alshon Jeffrey. Just an outstanding dose of the run game from this Eagles offense coming out of the locker room. All right, let's take a look at Alshon Jeffrey's first touchdown of the game. It's the opening drive of the third quarter, and this was really fun because this comes as a result of the Eagles' 12 personnel package, 1 back, 2 tight ends, and how it can create favorable matchups, not just for Zach Ertz and Dallas Goedert, but also these wide receivers. We're going to see really how the distribution of all these pass targets really dictates how the Eagles want Washington to play in coverage. At the top of the screen, you've got Zach Ertz isolated as an X-ISO receiver, and he is matched up on a corner. That's the corner, the rookie corner, Jimmy Moreland. So you've got Zach Ertz removed from the play. He now takes a cornerback out of the picture. At the bottom of the screen, you've got a bunch set from the Eagles. And number 1 at the top, you've got Alshon Jeffrey. He's going to catch the touchdown. You've got Dallas Goedert on his right, and you've got Desean Jackson on his left. Now, the Redskins here are in their nickel package. So they've got 5 defensive backs on the field. They feel like they should be able to match up with this set from a pass game perspective. But what they weren't expecting was that the Eagles were going to kind of switch assignments here. And here's what's going to happen. Before the snap, you've got a corner matched up on Alshon Jeffrey, and you've got a linebacker matched up on Dallas Goedert with 2 corners, 2 DBs here matched up with Desean Jackson. But what happens at the snap is that Alshon Jeffrey is going to run inside, and Dallas Goedert is going to run outside. They're going to switch releases, and that causes the defenders for Washington to change responsibilities. So we're going to let this play, and you're going to see exactly what I mean here. Alshon releases upfield. Now he's being taken by a linebacker. And as for if you're the Eagles, you love the idea of a linebacker matched up one-on-one with Alshon Jeffrey. And again, why does that happen? Because they've got to respect Zach Ertz at the top of the screen. And even here, you see the safety. Who's he looking at? He's looking at Zach Ertz in the red zone. That creates this one-on-one matchup for Alshon Jeffrey. Carson Wentz is going to start to his right. He sees that Zach Ertz is removed from the picture. He breaks the pocket. Great throw, threading the needle to Alshon Jeffrey in the back of the end zone. Eagles get on the board and pull within a score, and it all started with those 2 tight ends. All right, let's take a look now at Desean Jackson's second touchdown of the game. He was the first receiver in 3 years to have 2 50-plus touchdowns in the same game. So let's take a look at the second one. This starts with an 11 personnel set. So the Eagles are in 1 back, 1 tight end. That 1 tight end, Zach Ertz at the bottom of the screen. And one thing to note really quick is that he's matched up on a corner, Quentin Dunbar. So you've got a corner removed from the screen again because you have to respect the ability of Zach Ertz. The Redskins are not matching up from a secondary standpoint. So you've got a corner matched up on Ertz. Now, let's take a look at the 3 receiver side because you've got a lot of ability on one side of the field to the wide side. At the top of the screen, you've got Alshon Jeffrey. Number 2, you've got Desean Jackson. And number 3, you've got Nelson Agholor. Now, what you're going to see from a route standpoint here for the Eagles is that these 2 inside slot receivers, Desean Jackson and Nelson Agholor, are both going to attack vertically down the field. And when this 1 high coverage by the Redskins, really they're going to be attacking that safety, and that's Monte Nicholson. He's put in a tough spot because you've got 2 receivers screaming at you from one side of the field. You've got to kind of split the difference here, and he's not sure exactly what to do. We're going to see that play out here. Again, you've got these receivers matched up on a safety because you've got a corner matched up on a tight end at the bottom of the screen. So again, here's Desean Jackson. He's screaming vertically down the field. You've got Nelson Agholor running on a deep over route, screaming down the field. Here's Monte Nicholson. He's in no man's land. He can't play this route. He can't play that route. He's unable to play either. And Carson Wentz delivers this ball over the top. Nicholson's got to do a speed turn and get back into position. He lays this out perfectly. Great ball tracking from Desean Jackson. Eagles get into the end zone. Outstanding pitch and catch there from Carson Wentz to Desean Jackson. And like I said, the Eagles controlled that second half. Run game, great defense, kept Washington's offense off the field, and the Eagles were able to control the clock, put points on the scoreboard. They took advantage of matchups in the secondary, using those tight ends in the passing game. They got things going on the ground. Just an outstanding all-around effort from the offense and the defense to come back in the second half, come back strong, start the season off at 1-0. Wasn't always pretty, but early in the season, it's about stacking W's, and that's exactly what this team did. Great way to start off the 2019 season. All right, so what do we got in store for you for the rest of the week here on PhiladelphiaEagles.com from an X's and O's standpoint? Later tonight, I'll be recording the Eagle Eye in the Sky podcast, fueled by Gatorade. Myself and Greg Cosell will talk about what we saw from breaking down this film, what our big takeaways were going in to next week's game against the Atlanta Falcons. We'll preview what we saw from Atlanta this weekend as well. We've got Eagles game plan. We'll be recording that just about 24 hours from now, where myself, Ike Reese, John Clark, Mike Quick, Greg Cosell will all kind of get together in a room and share our thoughts on what we can expect from this week's matchup. We've got a lot of really good stuff planned for this week, so make sure you tune into the rest of all of our X's and O's offerings here on PhiladelphiaEagles.com. Thank you for watching All-22 Review, driven by AAA.